Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Calvin, and this is my playthrough slash walkthrough of Final Fantasy IX. And in this episode, we are going to be introduced to Lindblum Castle. We just got done battling the Black Waltz, and he crashed into the gate and destroyed it. Well, yeah, pretty much destroyed it. And it's not going to be in function for the entire game. Not that you even really need it. Really, I don't think. But anyway, Zidane and company have made their way to Lindblum, and we are going to see a cutscene very shortly. And most of this video, well, actually all of this video is going to be dialogue, just because of the length of the dialogue. I decided to cut it off around 11 minutes, and then we're gonna pick up from there with actual gameplay. So if you don't want to watch this video, just skip over it. The next video will be coming out shortly after this one uploads. But anyway, in the next town, in Lindblum, there's gonna be a giant chunk of my gameplay that I don't put in. It's going to be just me taking Zidane outside of Lindblum and fighting the creatures outside of Lindblum, so I can learn all the abilities on the armor and weapons that I have, like the ogre, the butterfly sword, the mithril dagger, all those weapons. Well, actually, I don't learn anything on the ogre. I'm just getting ahead of myself. But the mithril dagger and the butterfly sword, I'm going to learn all the abilities on those, so I don't have to worry about them later. Learning the abilities keeps them on Zidane's trance list, so you're not sitting there going, well, why don't I have this trance attack anymore? And for me, it makes things easier for me. Plus, by doing this, by going outside of Lindblum and, I guess, quote, training, unquote, I don't know what to call it, it's really just, you're leveling up your character. It's some people would call it grinding. I don't really look at it that way. I think there's a reward for what I'm doing. To me, grinding is just doing something because you have to do it. This is not, and I don't really see it as a grind. I don't know. I enjoy it a little bit, especially because it's not for the novice user. You kind of have to know what you're doing. And you have to be on top of your health and how many potions you have and how many tents you have and when the last time you saved. You have to be on top of it. You have to manage it. If you don't manage it, you're going to die, you're going to lose all your progress, and you're going to get extremely frustrated and probably not finish what you're doing. But anyway, we're going into Lindblum Castle now. We're going to meet the regent, or rather, I would call him the king, because over in Alexandria it was the king and the queen, although we know Princess Garnet's father is dead, so it's just Queen Brahine running everything. So this is a separate kingdom. Lindblum is its own nation. We're going to hear about Bersemia in a little bit, which is a different nation, and they're all on the Miscontinent. There's 3 nations. So I'm just going to say this is the king of the Lindblum nation is who we're about to go see. They don't use king and queen type deals in Lindblum for some reason. In Lindblum, it's the regent. So it just doesn't make... I'm just going to call him king. The guy's name is Sid. He has a very distinct mustache. But anyway, this is who Garnet wanted to come see in the beginning. This is why she wanted to be kidnapped, quote unquote. So here we are in the King's Chamber, because I don't really like saying Regent. It doesn't have an interesting ring to it. It's, yeah. So, the King's Throne, and you see this little thing poking his head out. You notice there's a mustache on him, and he can talk. And Steiner thinks it's a Gollop. I don't know how to say that. But anyway, those little stupid bugs that we've been introduced to multiple times already. And Phoebe, even the Gollops in Lindblum are big. Because Lindblum is ginormous, it's actually separated into the castle, the industrial district, the theater district, and the business district. So there's 4 districts alone in this city, which is significantly bigger than Alexandria, if we remember, because Alexandria was what? A handful of screens, different screens. Each district alone has, what Alexandria had for us, which is a handful of screens. So we're talking a big place. Squaresoft does a good job making the place seem bigger than other places. It even seems bigger than Bersemia, and at first I always thought Bersemia was bigger, but I think that's because of the annoying random battles throughout Bersemia. And here we're gonna meet one of our friends from Bersemia. Her name is Freya, even though Zidane pretends not to know her name for a little bit, and actually insults her. I don't know if it was just to show, that they were playful or they knew each other. I don't know. Yeah, Zidane has quickly forgotten about Dagger, though, and has started hitting on the waitress at the local bar. Yeah, yeah, that's why he gets so defensive, is she makes fun of his tail. I forgot about that part. But whatever. Yeah, they quickly kiss and make up, so to speak. They don't actually kiss. But he does get under her skin, and I guess she deserves that after making fun of his tail. But Freya is going to join our party relatively soon, and going to be a good... we're going to need her to do something for us relatively soon. And we're going to learn a depressing story. Freya's been looking for her boyfriend forever now. And we're also learning about the Festival of Hunt in Lindblum, which is coming up very shortly and will be included in probably... I guess I'm going to have to do 3 parts to this city too, just like I did Dali. More dialogue between Dagger and Sid. Sid tells her basically that I knew there was something going on, so I sent the theater company, or Baku's men, to go and get you. We were gonna kidnap you because we knew something was wrong, and I know, yeah, whatever. Basically, he says, yeah, I've been in a couple Tantalus, that's what they're called. I couldn't remember. Yeah, he says, I promised you, father, I'd protect you, blah, blah, blah. We knew that Alexandria was up to something, but we couldn't go directly in because we didn't want to start a war. And basically we sent Tantalus in to get you because it was a good cover and no one would suspect me of doing this. So yeah. Oh, and then Dagger tells Sid about the black mages that are being made in Dali. He says, yeah, as long as I have my airships, I'm not worried about the black mages. Probably an oversight on his part because I can't see this ending well for him. I mean, Queen Braheen is one of the main bad guys in this game, so spoiler alert for anybody out there. I think he's overlooking it. But basically, also Sid admits to everybody, yeah, I met a lady at the pub, I cheated on my wife, Hilda, and Hilda got really mad at me, cast a spell on me, and now I am this thing. And this pretty much sums up my playthrough and commentary of Final Fantasy IX for this episode. Welcome to Lindblum, everybody, and until next time, I hope you enjoy.